Season 6 of Dragons: The Nine Realms is right around the corner with the June 15th release date and an expected 8 episodes. This season better be incredible if we're exceeding our usual 6 or 7. This just might be one of the most divisive seasons yet with new dragons and realm. Hi, I'm Adrian from EmberNexus and we're gonna see if Season 6's new ocean and giant realm can snuff out these embers. Yeah. I know, talented writing. But let's get started with this analysis. We start with the gang flying back into the forest realm, and the first thing I'm noticing is that these purple-blue growths seems much more prominent than they did before. I'm being hopeful, but I want them to play a role in the story of this season. Speaking of playing a role in the season, I'll tell you right now that there is no sighting of the Sky Torture, which only had a singular appearance last season. But in its place we get some pretty cool dragons, so just hang on and we'll get right to it. Tom's flying on Thunder in the proper overworld, since everyone knows about dragons now. I love these tiny clouds in front of the big ones. They're actually super cute, but I will say that they appear to be lit differently to the big ones, and for some reason they've been laid out in a grid-like pattern, and the lack of motion blur is absolutely killing me on Thunder. Next up we see Plowhorn helping out around Icarus in front of the rustiest door I've ever seen, pushing a box. I really want the dragons to be somewhat integrated into Icarus now, since if they weren't, then Season 5 was all for nothing. But what I can't stand is that she's doing a job any human could do with ease. Show me them using dragons to fix their strangely oxidizing copper roof that they can't reach without a ladder or something. A Forest Realm Deadly Natter has used its Spine Shot attack on the left, and then carries out a Magnesium Blast after circling around to the back of Thunder. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember there being a triangular shield equipped on Thunder. I do find it a little strange that the Natter didn't track him up, but I do like that it has similar colors to the environment. I don't know about you guys, but I think D'Angelo killed Eugene in Electrical after a sabotage. I mean, look at that arc through insulated wires. And interestingly, instead of the electricity being blue, it's purple. Why? Well, they were just being lazy and reused Thunder's lightning ability without hue shifting it. Another scene with June and Eugene, and both shots combined together results in this line.
You ever wonder how smart dragons are? Like, definitely smarter than dogs. Smarter than some people.
Smarter than you.
Very funny.
Next we fly through the residential area of Icarus, following 3 terrible terrors, a vine tail, passing by a snake, and 2 employees with completely different facial expressions. I'd feel really bad for these employees if all these idiots didn't just leave their windows wide open. Getting chased out of your house by dragons is totally deserved if you're just letting them in. The dog whistling Scuttleclaw is back, which should be awesome, and is presumably why all of these dragons are going absolutely nuts. They're all clearly going rogue inside the buildings, which again, how and why are they in here? Oh okay, here's the answer, because Eugene is stashing all of them away in closets, I guess. I'll also bring up the fact that even a singular vine tail being up here is genuinely miraculous and outrageously stupid.
Webmaster?
You're telling me that it came from a hot, humid forest realm under a lot of pressure underground, up through a relatively small hole in the ceiling into a freezing ice realm, then finally came through a tiny entrance up to the surface? Yeah, no it did not. And just why are there so many dragons even up here from their own realms? Now the interesting part of the trailer. This is a crocodile-like dragon that actually looks super cool, and it seems high quality, which is awesome. I know a lot of you are probably thinking it's an alligator, not a crocodile, but I'm Australian and I've forced myself to memorize the differences.
Narrow V-shaped snout, lower teeth visible, grayish-green,
17 feet, your worst nightmare.
It's a crocodile. The following shot is a confrontation between our new crocodile friend and a shellfire. I know, I wasn't expecting it either. This scene is absolutely massive, supposedly, featuring an underwater cliff face surrounded by red kelp and long-reaching god rays. It's so big in fact that I think that this could just be an entirely new realm, a water or an ocean one perhaps. I will say though that this could just be a part of the weird lake in the crystal realm. Strangely also the crocodile dragon, which better have a really cool name by the way, seems to be holding onto the vessel that is lowered down into the fissure by the crane at Icarus, and looks reminiscent of the one Hiccup made while dealing with the Submaripper in Race to the Edge. Whilst this scene is trying to be big, I am disappointed that we couldn't even put a single low poly model in the background to provide some more depth.
And the adventure.
This next shot confirms a new realm, the Giant Realm. That places us at 8, 9 if you include the Ocean one, which it might not be. When we originally started the show, I was under the impression that we would do a realm every season, but if we're at 8 now and it's only season 6, I think it'd be fair to say we'll probably get 8 seasons instead. That way they can introduce the last realm next season, again if the Ocean one isn't, and then they have an entire season to wrap up the show. The Giant Realm, concerningly, reminds me of the King's Realm with its similar entrance, weird fog, and large scaling, the last of which I understand is the point for this realm. Hopefully you've seen the third How to Train Your Dragon movie by this point, and if you haven't, what are you doing here? But if so, you'll recognize the Death Gripper. Along with the other crocodile dragon and what little we've seen of the Nada, this model looks half decent. I do feel like it's a touch small, and the Death Grippers give a very particular vibe, which I'm not sure this green foresty realm is giving. And if the kid struggled with speed stingers, then this is going to be an absolute walk in the park for this Death Gripper. Godspeed to its animation and intelligence. I might have another favorite creature from the 9 realms. This slug thing is so random, but I love it nonetheless. I have no idea what it'll do, if anything, but I'm still interested. I'm going to be hopeful and say that there's a real reason behind this wild Nada acting so oddly aggressive. Let's go with Buzzsaw trying to capture it, or as protecting their offspring. Can't wait to see how they ruin one of the most beloved dragons in the original franchise. In saying that, the shot is well composed, moving back with the roar and a slight tilt up to emphasize the scale. In comparison to the first shots we saw of this dragon, it suddenly looks freaking tiny. I might also just start calling it the wannabe octopus dragon because of the 7 tentacles on its tail. Following a useless shot of the riders, we see some Icarus employees watching an air show from Tom and Thunder, so this is likely episode 1 unless they're baiting me by hiding the thing that they're chasing. June flies in on Woonwei carrying the shield they found back in season 3, and it now has a print of a dragon, which is a nice detail I don't think it had last time. 2 of the brothers are trying to dart her before she then lands like an Avenger. Now let's be clear, they're not trying to dart the dragon, but the kid. 2 men find themselves in custody this evening after they were arrested on suspicion of attempted kidnapping. The adults, according to witnesses, tried to tranquilize a 14-year-old girl going by the name June Wong in the forest earlier today. They were then spotted by local police dragging her out of a hole in the ground away from a large science facility. Buzzsaw's Timberjack makes a return again, and here we see the 2 brothers tied up together on the ground. Carla and Hazel see a large dragon come out of the fissure, maybe even Buzzsaw and his Timberjack. The riders fly away from a van with no one in it, and they're not taking anyone away, so that's a little concerning. Notice this cut down tree blocking the road too. That would be Buzzsaw again. Yo, is that an actually well textured ground? That is crazy. Going back to what is likely the Crystal Realm lake thing, some dragon comes out of the water behind Feathers and Alex. I can't quite tell what it is based on this thing coming out of the top, but it appears to have the width of a shellfire. Following this shot, we see Tom and Thunder running away from a Nada. Notice these 2 quite prominent flowers also, and then we get a whole field of them. Surely they're important, right? Surely. These 6 hobgobblers seem to be wanting a bit of a snack. Cut to June riding Woonwei with Sledkin? That is insane, of all people. Another shot of the shellfire, nice that we'll be getting up close. They're really leaning into the horror element now. Tom's managed to also plaster the strike symbol on the back of his jacket too. His pants seem weirdly shiny, so maybe they have dive or swimwear. His hair being different is good too. Let's see how much it moves in the water. I'll be honest, I thought for tens of minutes about what on earth this thing on the right could be, and I cannot for the life of me figure it out. Thunder, much wow, so cool. Following the title card of the show, we see Eugene jump onto the Death Gripper, maybe in the bioluminescent or dark realm again, neither of which we've seen for ages and would be super cool to see and explore a bit more of.
It's times like these when I remember why humanity is doomed.
Queen Alex. Oh yeah, and 2 weeks from now, like I mentioned at the start. I'll try to keep this quick, but I want to give my thoughts on what this season is going to look like without each scene swaying me. I think this season could be cool, along with many of the others, but I'm often left disappointed, as are the rest of you. These seasons often show a lot of potential, and it's disheartening to see the execution so poor. Just last season, for example, I thought the Forest Realm had the most potential, but then we only spent like 2-3 episodes in it. And in this season, it's clear that we're going back to the Ice Realm for the 3rd season in a row because it's the cheapest to render or something. I know very few people will hear this next part, so count yourself special, but my friend and I are currently writing a screenplay for what we think season 1 of the 9 Realms could have been. It's taking a while and I'll be busy covering other shows, but I think you guys will approve. There are Talix moments, don't you worry. I'll also note that this is separate to the one Audrey has mentioned in the past, but we'll be getting feedback before it gets published. I'll also speak more about it closer to release in a community post, and probably also in my season 6 video. Anyway, this season looks okay, some cool dragon designs and new realm or realms. Still not sure what the story is, but that's alright, wasn't much of one to begin with regarding any character motivations. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, it really does help me out. But thanks again for watching, check out some of my videos on screen or in the description, and I'll see you all next time.